Hello, hello, hello. It is the O Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, CW. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to head over to YouTube and hit that bell so you get notified when new episodes go live, or subscribe to the podcast on any and all podcasting platforms. Today, it is a personal story day coming into O Wrestling. A fun one. I had company over at my house. My brother and his family came by for Labor Day weekend for a barbecue and to hang out so the kids can play, and myself and the big guy could reconnect and have some fun. And our ladies had their, time. I wasn't really paying attention to what they were doing. But we had a very long wrestling weekend, and it wasn't planned that way. It just sort of happened. They came by on Friday, and I kicked on SmackDown like I normally do every Friday, and we sat down and we watched an episode of SmackDown together, and that was a fun time. And we had our commentary, and we discussed the merits of certain matches and promos and whatnot. And then Saturday rolled around, and we had a very fun-filled day. And then we came back to the house and put on Payback, and we watched Payback. I'll be perfectly honest, I was fading by the end. I think I fell asleep once or twice during Payback. But in my defense, we had a very long day. But we did watch Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch in that incredible steel cage match. You want to hear, or you want to see just an incredibly performed, well executed, no stuttering match. Trish Stratus at, 47, is just as good, if not way better than she was when she was a full-time active performer. Trish went out there and, was there a rumor? No, it wasn't a rumor, but it was, Trish was always, she was always wondering why she couldn't get a steel cage match in the women's division, right? And Triple H or whomever on the team granted her wish. They pulled the curtain on Payback and set the bar so incredibly high for every single match afterwards. Again, I did an episode, maybe it was last week, I can't remember, but it was about enjoying wrestling and kind of not being able to sit down and watch a match and kind of only being interested in the beginning and the end. I was riveted the entire time. There was two matches that has happened to me recently. Trish and Bex in the steel cage, and then twice Gunther versus Chad Gable for the IC title. The first time with the count out, the finish was a little weird, but the match was incredible. And then on Raw, which we'll get to when they had their match again, another incredible match. But the Payback match with Trish, everybody's talking about it, and for good reason. Trish left it all out there. Becky left it all out. I'm not discounting Becky's involvement or her abilities either. It's just incredible to watch Trish really put on a showcase of like, yo, I've come a very, very long way. Trish Stratus didn't start as a wrestler. She came in as a mouthpiece for TNA, Test and Albert, RIP Test. And thanks to incredible training, dedication, her friendship with Lita, and she just morphed. She trained her ass off and morphed into this like bastion of professional wrestling and a beacon for the women's division. And if the women in the back and on NXT were watching that, I'm certain that they got hyped and they wanted to meet her at that level. Trish Stratus set the bar. Becky Lynch was already doing great, and Becky kept up. I don't know if Becky set the pace or if Trish. I'm pretty sure Trish set the pace because this was the match she's always wanted. It was incredible. I can gush about that match forever. Go look at pictures of Trish Stratus and her bruises and her crazy knot on her head. She left everything out there. I'm not supporting, hurting yourself in wrestling, right? But the fact that Trish Stratus took real bumps into the cage, she slammed her head into that cage a lot. and she got welts and black and blues, and she took this incredible photo. I'm using the word incredible a lot. She took this amazing photo, showing all the bruises that she got, and she still looked incredible. There it goes again. And all right, I'll go on forever. Anyway, we watched Payback. That match pulled the curtain. It was fantastic. We made it towards the end. We were both very confused by the Shinsuke Nakamura Seth Rollins match, which didn't do anything to capitalize on the incredible promos. That's the second time that's happened. The first time Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler had that sweet UFC style promo against each other and then put a stinker of a match together. The Seth Rollins and Shinsuke match wasn't terrible, but it wasn't really good either, and it made no sense, and I can't understand the story. And when you have a story like that where Shin puts everything into the promo, my man's speaking his native tongue, he's looking sinister, he has an agenda, and then he doesn't capitalize on it and he doesn't win, I don't get that. That doesn't make any sense. They pushed Shin into this great heel persona where he's like an assassin and he has an agenda, and then he gets pinned easy. He gets pinned easy. Anyway, we get through Payback and we have our conversation about Payback, and then we wake up on Labor Day and we do the whole family barbecue thing, and the kids are playing in the sprinkler, and my wife is cooking, and his wife is helping out, and we're having a great time. And then it turns to evening and we kick on Raw. And at one point he says, I didn't realize this was going to be such a wrestling heavy weekend. Oh, I'm completely skipping over the reason why I decided to tell this story. During the day, it was maybe 9 o'clock. I had woken up, I did my workout, and I was playing some game on PlayStation 5 while everyone was sleeping. When I hear these big footsteps coming down to my office, dum 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 dum, and my brother announces, "Put on 2K23. We're doing a Royal Rumble Legend mode. We pick a random person. Let's see who wins." I was like, "Bet, okay." And we were instantly transported back to our teenage years, our playing SmackDown years of just having the most incredible time, the most fun playing a wrestling game. It was like childhood again. It was fantastic, guys. When I tell you that we played 2K23 for nearly 8 hours, maybe? No, that's a lie. We were there for maybe 11 hours. We were playing that game on and off. Obviously, we went out to eat, and we made sure the kids were okay, and we showed our face to the world. But we tore the house down. We maybe did 8 Royal Rumbles. We did a full not lucha, cruiserweight Royal Rumble in the Lucha Libre ring, where Wesley became our favorite wrestler. My man came in at maybe number 4 in that match, proceeded to eliminate damn near everybody. Myself and my brother, we got eliminated by Carmelo Hayes at the same way. And every time we came in, we got tossed by someone. And when it was the final 4, I think it was like me, him, Wesley, and someone else. I can't remember. Wes not only eliminated the both of us, but then proceeded to eliminate, I forget, who's the guy from Pretty Deadly? Not the blonde one. I can't remember the other guys. I can't remember any of their names. There's Elton Prince, and then there's the other guy. The other guy was the final 2. He gets tossed. Wesley wins the whole thing. We hear erupt in cheers for Wesley. It was incredible. Became our favorite wrestler. Anyway, we had such a fun-filled wrestling weekend, and I just wanted to share that with you in this kind of a fun personal episode. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast. Tell a friend or two. Head over to owrestling.com for all past episodes, and don't you ever forget,
I'm your friend, but if I ever see you in the ring, I can beat you. Don't you know? Yeah, yeah, yeah.